Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? Avid, Stan, Charles, Lynn. Avid, you was here early, wasn't you, buddy? I appreciate that. Yeah, Stan, I didn't figure we'd have very many in here tonight, but that's okay. What are y'all up to? Hey, Ed. Didn't see you come in, buddy. How you doing? Thomas, what's going on, buddy? Chad, how you doing, buddy? Thomas, we went to the Green River, had a little fun tournament there today, and we took first place. Jeff, welcome to the show. How you doing, buddy? Dave, welcome. Thank you guys for stopping by. Sean, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Appreciate you stopping by. A few more minutes, see if anybody else comes in. Like I said, I didn't figure we'd have a big crowd tonight. Everybody's probably worn out. Georgia, Big Mike, D. Hey, everybody. Tim, Big Slim, Ace. What's going on? Mike Sampson. All right, Tim, we'll start now since you're here. Creo, I appreciate you stopping by, buddy. Hit that like button on your way out. Mike Sampson, how you doing, bud? Mad Catter Catfishing, hello. Welcome. Big Mike, I think I said you, but if not, I'll do it again. Today was uh today was fun. We were supposed to go fish a tournament on the Ohio River, but we got word that some guys were having a fun tournament out on the Green River. So we decided to go there instead. And I'm glad we did because we took first place in the small tournament, brought home a little money. We caught four fish, two 12-pound blue cats, and we actually caught one smaller blue cat, and we actually got a cold weather flathead. February flathead today. 40, 40-degree water, and he was in 40 foot of water. Thought that was pretty cool. Thank you, D. Sean, hope to see some great video from your guys' trip. I got to put that video together. I'll probably put it out next week. Steven, thank you for stopping by. What's up, Justin Fish and Fetish? It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. That's for sure. I think we didn't really drop lines until 2 hours into the tournament. We drove around, marked spots. We kept trying to mark fish. Finally, we just found a big old tree with no fish marked, and we anchored up on it, and we caught our first two fish right off the bat. Then we just kind of moved around spot to spot and made it happen. Four fish for 40 pounds, but it was enough for the win, so that was all right. And Thomas, tonight it's going to be a little bit of a question and answer. Hey, James Dockery. So, what do you guys want to talk about? You tell me. A little bit of anchoring, some drifting, some bumping. You tell me what you guys want to talk about. Typical winter fishing. That's all right, Mike. You know, Sean, that's exactly what we went to do today. It was a $25 entry fee. So we just went to have fun. If we caught fish, we caught fish. If we didn't, it was okay. Hey, Lyle, thanks for stopping by. Dang, that's a lot of weight there, Lynn. Must have some major current going on. Mark, catfish and crappie, how you doing, buddy? Steven, I guess I missed that while I was out fishing. Somebody ate some stink bait? No way. We can touch on some bumping, Thomas, and somebody else, Papa Ed, I think said something about it. I say bumping, first thing you want to do is get out there and learn boat control. Boat control has got to be number one. It's got to be number one. That wind will push you into the bank, push you off of your line. You're fishing. You want to fish a ledge. That wind will push you right off into the real shallows. Nick and Jack Dan, you going skipjack fishing, Big Mike? Man, that's just crazy. There's no way I could eat no. But if you want to start bumping, first thing you should do, in my opinion, is just take a bumping rod with you, go out into a sandy flat, and just get the boat speed right, get the bumping right, and just figure it out. Because if you go and try to bump over structure first off, you're not gonna like it because all you're gonna do is lose tackle. You're gonna lose everything in your boat. That's for sure. Pretty much. I don't know, Thomas. When bumping, it's just walking a piece of bait down the river in current. From a moving boat or an anchored position, you can do it in either way. Talking about boat control with that bumping, you want to get good with your trolling motor remote. You must have a trolling motor with a remote if you want to do it. To be honest, my rule of thumb was you want to slow the boat down half of the current speed. So if you got 2 miles an hour current, slow it down to one, and then find the right sinker to keep it in contact with the bottom. Sean, it's definitely fun. After you get a little better at it, Thomas, probably could do that. But starting off, you probably get really upset and won't want to do it. You got to have current, Jeff. So I don't know. Scotty Hill, what's going on, buddy? That's exactly right, Sean. I think that's why I like it so much because I'm actually doing some always boats moving my head around, seeing, making sure the boat's going the right way. You can do it from an anchored position too. We've done that, but first off, you got to use a heavier sinker because the boat's not moving. Well, I guess that's that's one way to look at it. Oh yeah, you would, Lynn. That fish will pull back. Sean, I'd like to see you guys do that. Heck, maybe I should drive down and do it with you. I've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning, y'all. So excuse me if I don't seem into it as normal. I'm a little tired tonight. Got up at 4 o'clock this morning, got ready for that tournament. No, I don't know about all that, Lynn. I don't think I could get up there and do a seminar, buddy. No way. I'd be up there nervous as all get out. Sean, I'm trying to drink some coffee, trying to make it wake me up. The Lyle's still in here? Yeah, ain't no way I'd be any good at no seminar. Not at all. Not at all. Just a second, guys. What's up, Has Life? You guys finally get done? You guys was live for quite a while, wasn't you? Playing with his bait just like he was yesterday. River rat, I use braid for everything except leader material. You don't want to have your leader. I'm doing a podcast. Oh well, you have to tag me to that so I can go watch it later, brother. What's up, Dwayne? Champ, how'd you like Jake roll it up today with that music blaring? That was pretty awesome. I was cracking up. Hello, Lyle.
Hey, Mike, how's it going, buddy?
All right, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Sitting here tying some jigs.
Yep, yep. Man, I'm tired tonight, brother. We had a tough day out there on the river, but we got it done. I don't know if you heard. We fished a little fun tournament out on the Green River, and we got first place.
Oh, congratulations. Who'd you fish with?
Me and Jacob.
Oh, okay. Good, good. Is bait hard to get down there?
We actually got some shad. We got a pretty good shad spot here in the marina at Evansville. We went and got some shad there and took it with us. So we had some pretty fresh bait.
That's what it takes. That's what it takes.
Right.
In the wintertime, shad is king, seems like. And as the water starts warming up, they'll switch over to moon eye and skipjack, stuff like that. But shad is the number one winter bait for sure, I think, most anywhere in the U.S.
Do you like moon eye a lot? I don't have much luck with it.
Yes, I do. If I had my choice, that's what I would use year round. The problem is they get hard to come by in the wintertime.
Yeah.
I really do like them.
Justin Fishing Fetish, it was all shad. He hit just a shad chunk. Yeah, we ended up catching a flathead, 40-degree water today. I was really impressed with that.
Well, that's way cool. Yeah.
February flathead.
I watched a video the other day where a gentleman caught a flathead in some cold water and caught it in the mouth, not snagged. And I know that's what you done, because if not, you'd have thrown it back. But it happens once in a while. You got to get it right in their mouth. But it doesn't happen that often in the wintertime. It just don't.
I've been fishing for 6 years now. It's the first time it's happened for me.
So my question to you is, how lethargic was that fish?
Oh, he didn't put up a fight at all. I mean, it was almost like pulling in dead weight. I mean, you could just by him biting it. Where's my hand at? He took the rod and just was tapping the rod. It was almost like a channel cat bite. He never really pulled it down. I actually got up and reeled down on him and actually set the hook in the corner of his mouth.
Wow. How big was it?
He was only about 3-4 pounds.
I still. He learned a valuable lesson today that he'll probably remember the rest of his life. Keep your mouth shut in the wintertime.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Oh, man. So the water temperature is 40 degrees down there by you. Wow.
On the Green River. On the Ohio River, it's still 37.
37. Well, we went out today. Cindy and I went out and rode around and looked for boat ramps that was thawed out. And the first two that we went to still had ice right up to the ramp. And the third one that we went and looked at was one that we had been to earlier, scouting out. And there was actually boats in the water fishing. It was on a lake called Pomme de Terre, which is the closest lake to me, actually. It's better known for bass and mostly crappie than it is catfish, but it does have catfish in it. Now, with that being said, I'm pretty sure everybody that was out there today was catching crappie. But when my sending unit comes in, supposed to be here Monday, then I can put it in and we'll get a chance. We'll run over there. And at least we've got some open water, because like I say, everything else is still froze up here with all that below zero stuff. So we're looking forward to that next week, maybe, if everything goes right, get that boat back together and get out there and catch a few fish. Because, dude, I've been laid up that shoulder most of the last summer and all winter, and I'm ready to roll.
I guarantee you are. I guarantee you are.
Yeah, we're not sitting around not doing that, and it's been a long dry spell, but it was worth it, and it'll be worth it in the future. But man, it was tough. It really was.
I seen my buddy Mustang Max come in. Michael Murillo came in. Country boy catfishing.
Awesome.
Appreciate all y'all coming in. We was gonna just talk a little bit tonight, and I figured no better person to bring in than you. People asking about some bumping. If a guy wanted to start bumping, what would your advice be to start out?
I was listening to you, and I think bolt control is probably the number one thing that people need to learn. And the next thing is the feel of the bottom. And even if everybody wants to bump and catch fish, because it is probably the most exciting way once you get the hang of it, is the next thing is to remember that you have to be in contact with the bottom all the time. Now, you and I, we've been doing it a long time. We can go down with less weight, but to add weight to your line to where you can feel the bottom all the time. And if you and me were using 1 or 2 ounce weights and they kept losing the bottom, I would tell them to add weight until they could feel the bottom for a long way back behind the boat. Just let little bits of line at a time. That's what that thumb's for. Just ease it back. And when you do lose the bottom, roll up, start all over again. But if you lose it within a short period of time from the boat, then I would add weight. And it doesn't matter. I've bumped with 6 ounces before on the Mississippi River when that water was screaming. But I could get back 300 or 400 feet with that. And where a lot of guys would lose it, they'd think they'd have it, but what they actually had was a big old loop in their line, and they don't have any control over that when that happens. So, but yeah, you got to be able to feel that bottom. You just have to.
That's what I actually started out. Like I said, I went and found a sand flat, and I was bumping in that sand. I figured if I can feel that sinker hitting that sand, I'll be able to feel it anywhere.
Yeah, that's exactly right. 100%. It is sand is something, and I bump for years and still do sometimes with regular bank sinkers. They got a pretty good footprint. When they hit the bottom, you can feel it really good. I have graduated over to cannonballs, and the reason I have is because they're more compact, and I feel it has a little bit better footprint touching the bottom than the bank sinkers. But either one of those work very well, and you can use other kind of sinkers if you don't have those, but those are the ones that I recommend people starting out with, because the bigger the footprint when it touches the bottom, the more you feel it when it hits. And the more you practice you get, you'll be able to drop weight. And when you get down to where your weight is very the smallest that you can feel it, is when you come most proficient doing it, I think.
Yeah, I agree 100%. We had somebody came in. Who was that? Mike Lewis. How you doing, buddy?
Mike Lewis.
We got a question from Mustang Max. He wants to know if anybody has ever brought ladyfish up from the Gulf Coast and tried them for catfishing for bait.
I have not. I don't know of anybody that has. But if they're oily and if they're in the Mississippi River system down that far, I'm sure some of those fish travel that far. I would think they would be just fine.
Might be the new secret bait.
You never know.
You never know. For a long time, people didn't talk too much about skipjack, although a lot of people was using it. They didn't tell everybody about it. And then when we discovered moon eye and things like that, how good it was in the summertime, for a long time, it wasn't. Everybody didn't talk about it either, but a lot of us was using it. But the word gets out, and I've had all the secret stuff that I need to worry about now. I can tell everybody because I'm getting to the point where it doesn't really matter to me if everybody knows about it or not. But some of the guys that's in these big tournaments and stuff, they still don't want a lot of that cool stuff, leaked out. But the more people that you can tell and get involved in the sport, the better off you are. And if they catch more fish, they're going to do better, and they're going to be happier, and they're going to stay put and do stuff. I agree with that also. I agree with that 100%. One Over Outdoors, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, with today, it started out rough. Not as rough as my buddy All Star Outdoors had it. I let him talk a little bit. we didn't drop any baits in the water until almost 9 o'clock.
Oh wow,
Tournament started at 7. We
man.
had a 40-minute boat ride, but man, we drove around and looked forever for some fish. Couldn't find them. Couldn't find them. Couldn't find them. Finally, we figured, man, we got to get some baits in the water. So we just picked the tree and we caught 2 fish right off the bat.
Cool. That's awesome. You know, a lot of times you got to travel in tournament, and it's no different than what you're talking about there. If you got to go an hour one direction, and I have at Owensboro down there before, I've went an hour one direction just to get to my first spot that I wanted to fish, because I fished the Owensboro pool 2 or 3 times, and I could usually get a limit down there, but they was not winning fish. And after that, you try to upgrade. You're so late in the day, you can't go very far to get your upgraded fish, so you're kind of messed up. So if you go that hour and you lock through one of those dams and get into a different pool and you get a couple of good ones, you can spend the majority of your time then trying to upgrade. And if not, then go back to those places where there's loaded with small fish and get your unders. But it's tough if you go down, if you're looking and looking and looking and you can't find your bait, or you can't find the fish, or they've moved on you, and then you got to come to plan 2. So that's what I used to tell everybody. I said, you need to plan A, B, and C at least. And if something's not working right off the bat, then you need to move on to the next one. It's not quite as bad fun fishing, but in tournament fishing, time is money. It's just like when you're working. So you've got a limited amount of time to get your fish in the boat. And if they're not there or they've moved on you, you either find them right quick or you got to go to the next spot, because while you're sitting there looking or trying to figure them out, the other people in the tournament's probably catching fish.
That's exactly right. I seen old Fins and Finds, Lee Evans come in. I wanted to say hi to you guys.
Steve Douglas in the house. Somebody mentioned his name. Catfish Fever Outdoors.
Oh, welcome there, Steve Douglas, if you're in. Probably, I think they was talking about somebody giving a rod away. So
okay, yeah, because that may have been, because I can't imagine. He's probably taking him a siesta after that catfish.
Hey, speaking of that, you did well starting it off yesterday morning.
Well, they had a little technical difficulty, but yeah, I did. I enjoyed doing that. Last year was the only year since they started doing the catfish conference that I did not do that. And I don't know if they missed me or I missed them, but I did miss them, and I missed doing it. But we enjoyed doing that. This was a little different deal for them, doing it online and virtual like they did. But people save up vacation time. They save their money. They save their everything to go see stuff that's at the catfish conference. And when they couldn't have it on account of this COVID, and folks, that's nobody's fault with that conference. Them guys work extremely hard to put on a good show. So it's nobody's fault that happened. And this was the next best thing. And I actually thought that it run off pretty well.
Yeah, for everything that I watched, it looked like they had a few technical issues, like you said, but I believe it was really well.
Yeah, for what they had, they put that together pretty quick. They really did. So, I did you buy anything, Mike?
I got a couple of Taylor with catfish rods coming.
Well, Jerry will appreciate that.
I love them dang green rods.
Well, I know Jerry and his brother, and I know his dad really well, and we fished against them in a lot of tournaments in North Missouri and Illinois and stuff, and they're a great bunch of guys. And Doc and I done several shows at the Catfish Conference where they would be really close to us, and in those days I was a smoker, which I haven't in a long time now, but Jerry's dad and I would go out and smoke together when we take breaks, and the rest of us would go over there and we'd banter back and forth. Of course, his brother Joe Lucky and I are real good friends, and those guys do a great job with a great product. But I'll tell you a story on the very first one. nobody knew what to expect when we went to the first catfish conference because it was held in Jeff Jones Marine. They just cleaned the whole place out. And they took a big pile of fishing rods and everything they had down there. They even took T-shirts and stuff. The show was supposed to open at 9 o'clock in the morning, and the people found out that there was a door open on the side, and they started flogging in that door. And before the show ever started, Tangling with Catfish had sold all their rods, and they was only down to like 3 rods by the time it opened and a handful of T-shirts. They had sold everything else they took down there. That was the very first catfish conference.
Oh, wow.
Nobody had any idea how many people was going to show up there. It was unbelievable. And, I had took rods down there to deliver to people, mostly bumping rods that people was going to be there, and I built for them. And I could have sold them 50 times over. And Larry Muse was wanting one, and I said, boys, these belong to people. I can't do that. But yeah, it was really busy, and then it got bigger and better every year. And it's like I say, this COVID thing has put the damper to a lot of stuff. But I also think that a lot of people probably are a little bit set back on how much money they should spend because nobody knows where their next dollar is going to come from with this COVID stuff. But that's all going to come to an end pretty soon, and we're going to get back to normal, we hope.
Yes, sir. I believe I hope we're heading the right way.
Yeah, me too. It's time that we are, and we're all tired of it, and so is everybody else. So that one thing, and that I believe that this time off for a lot of people that's not working has put a lot more people on the water. I think there's a lot more people fishing the last year than had been before. And whether that's good or bad or not, they're not sitting around the house. And if they're not working, they go fishing, and they're spending time on the boats and water and different things. And I think that's good for the sport too.
Yes, I do. I agree. I think it is good too. Sunfish Assassin, welcome. Thanks for stopping by.
Man, he caught a nice mess of fish today.
Oh, did he?
I seen some pictures. He looked like he had a bass and some nice bluegill or sunfish of some kind, and I don't remember now. I had a little nap a while ago, so I kind of forgot. But great fish, and that's if you're able to get out and catch a few, that's awesome.
I don't know if I need to ask this or not, but I keep seeing something about Walmart.
Is Dockery in here?
I have to believe this is the Chad asking that.
Same difference. Yeah, them two, they're twins. Them guys, James Dockery hates to go to Walmart, and I'm not too fond of it myself. But sometimes you just got to do it. So now every time I leave the house, they think I'm going to Walmart. In fact, Dockery even sends my wife text messages and saying, if he goes in Walmart, please take a picture. You know me pretty good, Mike. I wouldn't do him that. That's the kind of guys I've been hanging with.
I go to Walmart for one thing, and that's those shiny, hiney bait lures. That's
I hear they work really well.
Crappie lures, but I like them for skipjack fishing.
They tell me they work great for skipjacks. I've never. We have the world's smallest Walmart right here. They call it Small Mart, and there's rarely anything in it that anybody wants, but necessities, and they have a pharmacy and stuff like that. That's the main reason why we go there. But there's never a shiny hiney in there, and whenever I go to the big stores, I forget to look for them to see what they look like, and all I've seen is pictures of them. And I know Chad and Dockery and Mark, they all use them, and I would like to see what they look like. But I like to use jigs for catching skipjack, and I love to skipjack fish. That's probably my next best thing. Favorite fishing sport is catching skipjack, other than catfish and then panfish, which they're basically a panfish. But
right.
if you're using a sabiki rig, if they're happen to be on sabiki rigs and you get 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 of them on at a time going different directions and trying to reel them in, I mean, them babies are a blast.
Yes, very much so. So when I go skipjack fishing, I take like 4 rods with me. I got a sabiki rig. I got some jigs. I got I don't know 4 or 5. I got like 7 others tied up and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, that's what you got to have. I love to catch them skipjack, man. They are so much fun. They fight hard, and I've caught some giant ones, but I don't prefer the really really big ones to fish with. I like the smaller ones. Um, I like them where you can cut the tail off of them and hook them in the head and toss them out. But some people like the big ones because you get more bait out of them. But when you're from Missouri or Kansas or Illinois or somewhere, and you have to travel down to your neck of the woods or farther, maybe Cumberland City or somewhere, to get them, you want to bring back the most that you can for the time and money that you invest in that. But I really do prefer the smaller ones. I don't know. They're just easier, and we have a dedicated cooler just for bait, frozen bait that we keep in the boat all the time, and the real big ones don't fit in as good as the smaller ones do.
Lyle, Michael Merlo wants to ask: has the request for your rods gone down due to the virus situation?
It's been almost 4 years since I done any advertising and told people anything about that, and I still get orders. But yeah, it has went down a little bit, but in the catfish world, but in the crappie and bluegill world, it's actually went up. But we're doing some testing on some new stuff, some different rod blanks for that a company come out with that asked me to check into. So I've worked on a few of the panfish rods. Now, with that being said, I had quite a period of time there where I couldn't work on anything, and I'm up to working on them for probably 30 or 45 minutes at a time now with this shoulder before it bothers me and I have to stop. But there for quite a while I couldn't do anything. Had me on my arm in a sling, and of course it poked way out here by your body. Had a big old black pillow underneath of it, to whether they didn't want it in next for whatever the reason is. I know they got their reasons, but you talk about something that is uncomfortable. And yeah, I see Dockery's got the Krampus cane thing going on. I actually got a deal. Him and Mark do some ice fishing, and of course I don't, and for obvious reason, I'm sure you don't either. But I got some ice rod blanks, and we're going to be testing some of those probably next year. It's getting a little late in the game this year, but Dockery seems to think they need to be called Krampus canes. I'm not sure why. I think he just likes to make fun of me. But hey, whatever makes
them guys. I can't see.
Whatever. Whatever floats his boat. Again, I would not do that to him.
Yeah, Michael Merlo, that's fine. That's fine. Whenever you come down this way for monsters and stuff, did you ever see the Green River? Did you ever run up in it?
Yes. I've been up from the thing. Isn't there a Lowhead Dam or something up there where you can go so far?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been up that far.
We was actually about 40, 45 miles from that area today. But you've seen the size of that river, man, and it's still got barges on it.
Right. Yep.
Man, we had some of them today, and they was taking them turns, and their nose was on one bank, and their engine was on the other bank.
I actually caught bait around them barges a couple times, throwing a net behind them.
Mm-hmm.
I might be telling your secrets here, but I like to fish them small rivers if they're on, and if they've got current, because sometimes the Ohio River doesn't have any current, but sometimes it'll not have current, and the Green River will. And those are the times that I look for places like that, because I'm a current fisherman. And if you can find the fish in them, you can do good.
Yes. Yes, that's what we ended up moving. We was fishing one side of the river today because the trash line is with the Ohio River being up. The Green River's up also, so we tried to stay out of the trash line, but we moved over in the trash line, and that's where we caught our last 3 fish.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. That's way good. The trash line, in my mind, is just another part of it's another way to tell where a seam is for whatever reason. Now, if you don't have a seam, if you don't have currents, you'll never know where a seam's at.
Right.
But the trash will follow a seam line, and there's always a dividing point. There's something makes that seam underneath the water. And sometimes it's a definite thing you can find. Most of the time, it's a change in contour, and I'll fish those every time. Every time.
Daryl Orr, welcome. I've seen Catfish Fever and Outdoors. Lynn asked the question if there's a limit on skipjack. Well, that depends on where you're fishing at.
Yes, it does.
Down in Tennessee, they're pretty strict down there. There's like 100 a day and maybe a 200 possession limit.
I think that's correct.
They haven't. And here, I think in Kentucky, it's like 500. That's weird, but Indiana, I don't think they have a limit either. But
I think that the limits are a good thing, and I'll tell you why. Back years ago, before they had winter blues on Wheeler, which we went to all the time, we used to go down there over New Year's weekend, and there'd be 60 or 80 of us at a time. And I have brought back as many as 500 and almost 600 skipjack on ice in coolers to freeze when I got home. And that's too many when you get that many people doing that. It's hard on the thing. And I'm not saying that I should have been arrested or anything, because the laws wasn't in effect for that and everybody was doing it.
right.
But I think that the 100, 200 possession limit is good. I know other people argue about that because they try to go down there and they get their whole year worth of bait while they're there. And I understand that. But I think that it's like anything else. You don't want to abuse and use up the resource. And once it's gone, it's gone. So commercial guys put a hell of a toll on them, and it doesn't matter if they're in Alabama or Mississippi or Kentucky or Tennessee or Indiana, or where they're at. Commercial guys put a toll on that, and they have a legal right to do that. I'm not saying what they're doing is wrong. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is I think the regulations with 1 and 200 is a fair thing for everybody. And if you run out, just either buy it or you just go catch you some more, and don't argue about it, because we never want to run out of skipjack to catch fish with.
That's right. That's right.
But, other people will argue that fact. It's just like catfish. You got to have them regulations to protect them. I know there's a guy that right now claims he's going to help that, but I don't see him helping it. Maybe somebody else take his place might help it. But this is a serious business, and it doesn't matter if it's catfish or if it's skipjack or what it is. If you get in trouble, and those places, I wonder, Mike, how long those places that the good skipjack fishing is, with those great numbers being taken out, because they're using more of it nationwide now than ever before. I wonder how long these things will be able to sustain that quality of skipjack, because we're still getting good ones. But at some point, that has to come to a halt.
Yep, it will. I'm with you. Size matters outdoors. Welcome, you guys. You're out fishing tonight. You're wearing the blues out. Is that what you're saying? Thomas Littlepage, you fished the Wabash River, right? There is skipjack in the Wabash.
I believe that there's skipjack in any of the Mississippi River drainage. Now, they go as far up as Keokuk, Iowa. I don't believe I've seen them further than north than that. And the reason is that's a huge hydro dam, and blues don't even go through it. So I think that that any water system that drains in the Mississippi River system will have skipjack in it. They go up the Missouri River and then they go up the Osage River until they reach the dam for Bagnell Dam, which makes Lake Ozark, and it's huge, tall dam. They can't go past it either. And as far as I know, all of the skipjack have been caught out past that point on the Osage. But I know I've heard guys talk about catching up around Chillicothe and Kansas City, but not much further north than that. And I think there's a line where the temperature gets too cold for skipjack and they just don't go any further than that. That's just me. I may be wrong about that. Nobody's ever told me that. That's just my line of thinking, just because you don't hear people in Nebraska and stuff saying, hey, we caught some skipjack the other day. Maybe they do and they're not saying anything, but you just don't hear about it. So that tells me they just don't go, they'd only go so far north and they quit going further.
Yeah. Two Stands, welcome. I seen Smoking Big Flatties. That's my buddy Scott Newton. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, Thomas, get you some jigs and go out and try to catch them when the weather gets right. You'll love that skipjack fishing.
It's fun. It's fun. I've been down to Kentucky Dam with there was 5 of us went down there one day and we didn't all catch a limit, but we sure caught a bunch of them and we had a blast. It was a drive down there, leave at 3 o'clock in the morning and catch them. So we had our coolers full and then come back. We never caught a full limit, but we had all of them we wanted.
Two Stands. What did Stand 3 just catch? You see Michael Murillo's comment?
I do. Commissioned. Michael, we'll talk about that.
That's pretty.
Oh, man, whole bunch in the agitator. Hell, I think agitator means would be more suited for Mr. Dockery. But again, James and I talk every day. People think that maybe we're mad at each other and stuff, and it's not the case. James and I have a lot of fun together, and I wouldn't do anything to. Well, yeah, I would to upset him. I would, but hopefully it wouldn't be to the point where he gets so mad at me. He wouldn't talk to me.
Stand 3 said, or Two Stands said Stand 3 caught a 54-pound flathead.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. Yeah, tell him congratulations. That's pretty awesome.
That's a great fish. And people say, well, I caught this fish in this water and this fish in that water. You know what? 20-pound fish are great fish. Some places don't have 50-pound fish. Other places don't have 100-pound fish. So when you catching fishes in the 50s, you're home running it, man. That's just the way it is.
Two Stands. Was he in the kayak or was he on the boat? If he was in the kayak and caught that fish, oh my gosh.
I can't imagine that. I really can't, because I'm not the most stable person in there. I don't get in canoes either. But us full-figured guys, it's really got to watch that. We turn them over. We don't get back in them so easy. But yeah, what great fish. That's awesome. That must have just happened recently in the last few hours.
Yeah. Hey, Dwayne, man, I'll get with you about that bumping setup. It's mainly you want a good reel with a thumb bar. Get you a good ride, but you want that reel with a thumb bar. I think that reel with the thumb bar is a must.
I see Chad is in there, my favorite son, fishing with the Chad. He thinks that I ignore him. You know as well as I do, Mike, when this chat gets to rolling, that you don't see it all. And he'd made some post the other day in Catfish Weekly's chat while I was interviewing Josh Dunnigan. And I missed them, and he's just wearing me out about that. It's not that I missed them on purpose. I just missed them. But he thinks that I ignored him, and I don't ignore Dockery, but it's not the case.
Two Stan said he caught it out of his John boat. That still would be a fun catch in that John boat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a great fish. Great fish. I can't wait to see some of the pictures. I hope they got some good pictures of it. Thomas says you're supposed to ignore the bad side. The weekend ditch pickler. They really got on old Josh, and I missed it. And afterwards, they was telling me about it, and it was pretty funny. But I have a feeling that Josh Dunnigan is a player, so he may be combating some of that at some point. If you know what I mean.
Uh-huh. Uncle Josh, One Tongue Fishing Club. Welcome. Scott Newton, yeah, pumping. It'll be ready in a couple weeks. Hopefully that water will warm up in a couple weeks. It'll probably be longer in a couple weeks, but
yeah, I'm thinking Mike, a month. You're probably a month out.
Yeah.
It's if you're near 40 down there, little wind, little sunshine, for suspended days where the water is getting bright sunshine on it, and maybe a little wind to get. I don't know how much ice you got left, but I think most of our ice will be gone next week. I hope. I actually seen snow in ditches while we was driving around today, and I know that was from snow plows, but we've had really mild weather since that cold snap. But still, the ice is still there on a lot of these Lake Ozarks and Truman. I don't think have any ramps that are open yet, but Palm de Terre did have one out of the 3 that we checked. So you give it a week with that sun beating down on it. We got some rain coming. There was some rain tonight. It wasn't supposed to rain, but we got some thunderstorm. Rain coming down, sun shining on it, wind blowing on a little bit with these warm temperatures. A week will make a huge difference in this ice situation.
Yes. Hey, Mike Chavez, thanks for stopping by. We're actually, our river, the Ohio River right now is at like 29 foot, and it's projected to go to 45 foot.
Oh, you got it coming up. That'll break that ice up too.
So, yeah.
That'll get rid of a lot of it.
I'll be out.
Force it on down, away from you.
Right.
And that's what you want. Get it on away from you.
That's right. I'll be out doing that backwater fishing next weekend.
Backwater fishing.
Yes. We did really well there last year. We had a couple trips 2 days in a row, and we did really well. So I'm gonna go try it again next weekend.
Heck yeah. Sounds fun to me.
Whatever gets through. Go ahead.
We have to get this trip with you and I together bumping planned this year. I'm not sure where we're going to get that done. I don't really care. We just need to make it happen.
That's right. We're going to make it happen. That's for
sure. I'm excited about that. We'll have a great time, and we might catch some fish and we might not, but we can sit there and talk and discuss techniques and how and whys and explain to people what we're doing and when we're doing it and why we're doing it. And I think it'd be an awesome time to get some filming done and have a good time.
I agree 100%. I seen looks like Catfish Clothing is in here. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Two Stands, man. That bumping, once you do it once, you won't want to do anything else. I promise you. It's very addicting.
It is, and it's extremely fun because you'll have a period of time when you're sitting down there and you're bumping down through there and nothing's happening, and you get kind of caught up in the world of thinking about other things, and then boom. And if you're not careful, they'll jerk one right out of your hands. I've actually had people send rods to me or had them built with places for paracord on them to keep them from jerking them out of their hands. And I understand that after seeing one jerked out of Doc Lang's hand down on the Mississippi, and he got pretty excited about that.
I guarantee it.
But old Doc, he loves to bump.
Lipsy Hustle, James Guy, thanks y'all for stopping by. Muskrat, I think I seen you come in. Big Mama Catfishing just came in. Hey, Roger, how'd you guys do today? Thank you, Two Stands. I appreciate that. Oh gosh, yeah, wow. My buddy All Star Catfishing there. His name is Dwayne. He was going upriver with us this morning also, and his boat was a little faster than our boat, so we're still heading up, and we see him going back down. We didn't pay no attention to it. We get back to the boat ramp later on, and he tells us that he put his plug in the wrong hole, so he was taking on water. And then the poor guy damages his prop, putting it back on the trailer to put the plug in the right hole.
That's a rough day.
Well, it gets even worse. He says he hit some wake, and his trolling motor came down, and it bent and broke the shaft. He just had a day and a half.
Yeah, that's a pretty tough day. I hope it was one of the Minn Kotas that's got the lifetime warranty on the shaft.
It's a power drive. I'm not sure if they do or not.
I know my Tarova does. It's got a lifetime warranty on it, but they say you can't damage that shaft on. But I know guys that have actually collected on that. But as far as I know, they've always take care of it. But holy crap, that's a tough day. Them props now, they get pretty testy.
Big Mama Catfishing. Yes, my boat is running again. Roger, you said you caught 6 fish today? Boat motor broke. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Holy crap. He has more trouble with that boat motor, but I actually was watching his live feed and watched his wife catch a fish today. So that's always a plus when the lady of the house goes fishing with you and catches fish, because it's a lot easier to go fishing if they like to go too. It just is.
That's exactly right.
I see Mike Sampson's in chat.
Mike Chavez, you going to try some bumping out there on the James? That'll be awesome. Can't imagine bumping up and down that river.
He fished the James, right?
Yes.
I believe that my buddy Jason Mathena was out there a year or two ago and introduced bumping to some of the guys that was out there. His company he does something with gasoline or oil barge filling or unfilling on the Mississippi River. I don't really know what he does, but he was out there for some training or for the company he works for or something, and got to fish with some guys out on the James River and showed them how he bumps out there. So I know some of them guys out there know what's going on. But that tidal water would be a whole different situation. I've never fished that. Don't know anything about it. It sounds very intriguing to me to be able to learn when the fish work with the tide coming in and going out, and then you have the slack time when it's just kind of hanging out, and that goes on every day. So yeah, that would be interesting.
Very. My partner Jacob McFarland came in. What's going on, buddy? Anyway, after the tournament, he had to rush home to go and get the family dinner. So
oh wow.
we was running home fast.
Hey, whatever you got to do to get to go. If you got to go to family dinner so you can go fishing, you go to family dinners. That's just the way it works.
Roger, we all need a 4-stroke, brother.
Oh yeah. Just for the simple fact that they're so quiet, if for no other reason. But yeah.
Size matters. You must be out there on the fish, buddy.
He put a good one in the boat the other day. Hey, good one.
Waiting. I invited Jacob to come in the stream, but I don't know if he can figure it out or not.
There's Twisted Fishing TV.
Hey, that's Frank, isn't it? That's his name, I think.
That's Frank, yeah.
Welcome, buddy. Thank you for stopping by.
Makes some really cool drawings and stuff. He does a lot of artwork for a lot of people. Does a great job, too.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't guess he can. I don't know if he didn't get it or he can't come in. I don't know. I'm not seeing him pop in, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Well, don't be missing fish because you're on here. Go catch them fish, buddy.
Wearing them out. That's great. That's good to hear. But where he's at, it's a little calmer. I'm pretty sure that he don't have any ice in Florida.
Yeah, I don't think so. Just a second. I'm going to try to send this back to him
Sure,
again.
absolutely. Get him in here.
There you go, Jacob. Try it now, brother. Scott, it should be good next weekend out there, so I'm hoping so.
I see the number one son is also in here, catfish and crappie. Hey, Mark, glad to see you watching some of these shows. He stays busy. He's another one that can't ice fish, so he's not getting crappie, but there's ice everywhere, so he can't catfish. He's kind of stuck in the middle.
Size Matter says we have ice in our tea glass.
That'd be all right, wouldn't it? How much ice did you end up with down there, Mike?
We didn't get very much ice. We really didn't. It was enough, but we didn't get a lot, thankfully.
This is the first time, I think, in like 20 years or something that Lake Ozark and Truman was froze over. So it makes it tough. But, we didn't plan on the ice or anything, but I did plan on wintertime being down with this surgery. But, dude, I got to tell you, it's been a long dry spell for me, and we're ready to get out and do some fishing and stuff. But I got water in the gas tank of the boat and had to get that straightened out. And while I was at it, sending unit was bad. I should have videoed all this, and I don't know why I didn't, but I just put new carpet in the boat, and I had to cut it out to get to the sending unit and pull the tank. But we got all that done, and the new sending unit is supposed to be here Monday or Tuesday, and I'll get that put in and then back together, and that won't take very long, and we'll be ready to go.
Awesome. Yeah, I wish you would have recorded that. That would have been nice to watch.
I should have. We done a lot of work to that boat. We tore all the carpet out and recarpeted it, and I know I should have rhino lined it, but I got such a deal on the carpet that we didn't, and we took out my boat had side deals down the side. The gunnels are not really wide, but they're not real narrow like a John boat is. And underneath them had rod storage and a bunch of stuff that we really didn't use, and it was getting bad shape, and I was going to have to repair them. We took all them out, and we gained about 6 or 8 inches on each side of the boat and just carpeted up the side. And Dustin Fowl with D&T Customs had made that big live well for that Alumacraft. And when that boat sold, I had that big live well, and it's 93 inches long, 15 high, 15 wide. The guy didn't want that. And it would fit in my tracker, but I had to pull out all that stuff, which I was going to anyhow. So we just pulled all that out and then carpeted it and fit it in there. And I mean, it is a snug fit, but it'll fit right between the sides of that boat. And so now we've incorporated that in there and put the rod rack and everything back on it. And
nice.
We're ready to go. It's going to be give us a lot more room in the back of the boat. You had 6 inches for 6 foot. That's on each side, so you got a foot more room by 6 or 8 feet. That gives you a lot more room in the back of that boat. And it's going to be good. But it got it all done, and then had to cut out a big old chunk where that gas tank lays in there. And Mike, I got to tell you, I went to Lowe's and got some outdoor glue to glue that carpet in, and we had to grind it out. Take a grinder with wire wheels to get to it because that panel that's over top of that gas tank was riveted in, and they used flat rivets, and you couldn't find them rivets to drill them out, and you had to get that carpet out of there. Man, it was a pain in the butt.
Well, I guess so. I guess
It's
so.
just been put down, brand new carpet too. But it is what it is. We just want to get, if you got to go in there, you got water in your tank, and you got to go in there and fix that, you might as well fix the sending unit while you're in there. It just makes no sense not to me.
Yes. Kentucky Big Caps and Bourbon. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Man, isn't that a cool name? Where do these guys with these cool names? Two Old Vets is another one, and I don't know if he's in here tonight or not. I know he has been. Another really cool name. These guys are fast thinkers to be able to think of names like that applies to our sport and how things go again. There's a Whisker Fishing. I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
A new one. Welcome to the show, because it's good to see you guys in here.
Catfishing with Slim. Well,
he's right. Can't have one without the other. That's true. That's true. Did your buddy get to where he could get in here?
No, I think he said he's driving. It's a little dangerous trying to set up. So he's gonna probably come on next weekend.
Well, that'd be good. Well, I'll be watching.
Well, Lyle, I do appreciate you stopping by. I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down here pretty soon and go hang out with the wife. And
that's not a problem. I'm glad to help you out anytime I can, Mike. I enjoy visiting with you. I'm going to tie some more jigs. Pardon me, and I might get Dockery and them guys to come in with me, and we might go live tying jigs here after a while.
Well, I might just come over and watch you guys. I appreciate you.
All right, buddy. Thanks for inviting me in.
Yep. All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks, guys. It's not one to end. Well, I guess I don't know how to turn it off. It's not one to end for me. I've tried 2 stands. I've hit it like 3 times now. I guess there won't be no end, but it's frozen on my end.